it is time to ban and buy back every single assault weapon, making sure, first and foremost, no more assault weapons are manufactured in the future, but also with a plan to buy back the 15 million that are in circulation in our communities today.
There you've got 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful from California, Eric Swalwell, taking a page from Australia with his gun buyback proposal. How would that idea work here in the United States, which is what he is suggesting? Nick Adams was born and raised in Australia. He is the founder of the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness. He's also the author of Retaking America, Crushing Political Correctness. And he joins us today live from Miami. So, Nick, how did that buyback program work in Australia?
Well, Steve, the gun buyback program in Australia wasn't really a big success. I can tell you that the reality is right now in Australia that all the good people don't have guns and all the bad people do, which tends to be what happens when you do have a gun buyback scheme or similar kinds of programs that Congressman Swalwell is suggesting.
Well, if you're suggesting the Australian program did not work out well, was not as successful as some might say, what should he instead focus upon?
Congressman Swalwell, I think, Steve, would be far better served, and he would serve the constituents of the United States of America far better if he were to focus on things like mental health, if he were to focus on, I think, the real issues behind some of the problems that we're seeing in American society today. The reality is that the gun buyback scheme that he is thinking about implementing over here would never work in the United States of America because it's a completely different place to Australia. First of all, Australia has got about the size of the population of Florida. There are more Texans than there are Australians.
Right.
So you could never, ever on that scale go and buy back a whole bunch of guns like what he is suggesting. Also, Australians view guns through the prism of public safety as opposed to freedom. The Second Amendment here is ingrained in the American psyche. And it just would never, ever work. And I think the Second Amendment, Steve, is pivotal to American exceptionalism. It's what makes this country different. And if this California pretender wants us to protect our families with umbrellas, I'd like to be able to protect my family with a gun.
All right. Nick Adams joining us today from Miami with his